I'm making my way through Zombicide Invader, making some really, really good progress. And in the mission I was playing, I had to find and shut down one of the spawn points. On the southern part of the complex, we have 2 spawn points. And on the north, kind of west corner, we have 1 spawn point. So the possibility of 3. And early on, I decided let's really push really, really fast before Xenos and aliens start spawning everywhere. Let's push south, just playing the numbers, just doing a little bit of math hammer here. The chances are, if there's 2 objectives in the south, it's going to be one of them. Worst case, I'll also pick up some gear, I'll pick up some experience, and if I have to head north, I will. So I do some searching, I make some progress, I make my way to the south, I'm spawning, and then I realize, about 6 or 7 turns in, I realized I made a mistake. One of the rooms where I thought there was an opening, a door, there wasn't. So early on, I made tremendous progress really, really fast by moving through that part of the complex. Otherwise, I would have had to snake around a bunch of rooms on there based on how the map was supposed to be set up. So I really messed that up. But on the same side, the way I was spawning the Xenos on the northern side of the map, I was playing it the same way. They were just making a direct, straight line. So fundamentally, the mission was wrong. The flow was a little bit different, but I was playing it consistently. So this leads to the question, you're playing a board game, you're playing a role-playing game, you make a mistake in gaming. Something went wrong. Halfway through, you suddenly realize you weren't playing a rule or you were missing a part. Maybe you forgot a condition effect. I see this all the time. You know, a lot of these board games are all just overloaded in my mind where poison, paralysis, stun, knockdown does something and does something else. And I'll take some damage, and I'll forget to put a token down, or something will happen. It'll be 2 or 3 turns later, and then we remember. So here's how I like to handle it, because certainly it's not always practical to reset the mission or change things. If I'm playing a rule, like in the case of Zombicide, this mission, once I realized I made a mistake, I didn't correct it. I just played it as if there was an opening there. It worked for me. It'll work for the spawns. It'll work for the Xenos. That's how we're going to play the mission. If you've been playing a rule incorrectly for that mission, for that game, I recommend, and I follow this, play it through. Just play it as you are. Okay. Poison, stun, knockdown, paralysis. You get hit with some condition, and it's 2 or 3 or 4 turns later, and you realize, wait, I should have put that token there. This creates a cascading effect. So if I put that token down and I was paralyzed, that means instead of 3 actions, I had to spend 1 to get up, and I couldn't attack. I could only move, but I attacked and I searched, and I found this great weapon, and it did this. Like the flow chart is just crazy on there. So when I forget a condition type effect, rather than backtrack, rather than do everything, I just say, okay, like it didn't happen, or the gods intervened, or I got lucky, and I just leave it on there. Does it make the game a little easier? Does it make it a little more challenging or less challenging? Possibly. But I don't want to mess with the flow and try to undo everything, and some parts of an adventure type game can't be undone. But I will make a note with those effects. Again, there's a difference between deliberately leaving something out or possibly cheating versus just, hey, I forgot about it on there, forgot the reference. Talk to me about Mage Knight. I'm like forgetting everything here. I'm trying to make my way through Mage Knight. It's crazy. So when I realize it, moving ahead, I apply it. So now I'm going to turn it around to you guys. Forgetting a rule in board gaming or misinterpreting a rule, what do you do once you realize it? Do you roll with it? Do you correct it? Do you just kind of cut the loss for this adventure and next adventure revisit it with the correct interpretation? What are some of the ways to handle it?